Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Leo, April 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of clairvoyant readings for many of you over the course of the last month, and also healings. And if you feel led or drawn to have a clairvoyant reading with me, or a healing, then just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, as the subscribers know, and it's always great to see the subscribers, much love to you always send you lots of energy and love, and I look forward to seeing you each month. As you know, we don't have any video advertisements breaking their way into this content. Good God, no. So you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted. But now we are going to take 5 cards because 5 is all we need. They speak volumes to us, and they're fine for our purposes here. In fact, they're better than fine. They are excellent to see what the spiritual energies are swirling around you in this month of April. So let's take them now, shall we? And they are the Knight of Cups. Okay, what's this one? Death. Oh, that's a very good death. This is a Russian deck, incidentally. The Ace of Swords. Yes, there's lots of well-stylized Russian imagery. There's the Wheel of Fortune, and what's here? We'll see this, and it is the 4 of Coins. Knight of Cups, Death, Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 4 of Coins. Great! Well, why don't you, as is our usual practice, why don't you come sit down here next to me? We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Let's have a look at this Knight of Cups, which is ahead of you here. Now, touching on the Ace of Swords, and with these 2 major arcana, Wheel of Fortune underneath it, Death opposite it, and diagonally opposite the 4 of Coins, I think that what is liable to happen is that Scorpio and Libra are going to be important to you during this period here. Now, these court cards can, of course, be of either gender, but I'm going to refer to it as a man. And this is a young man of some subtlety, secret violence, a very crafty person, somebody who's almost like an artist that is calm on the surface, but it marks an intense passion underneath. This is a person who has the ability to detach. That's why I'm getting that Libra sense around here. Air signs can be quite detaching, can't they? And it can detach from the heavy, intense, and controlling emotions of Scorpio, which is represented by that Scorpio energy that's coming here as well. And this is someone who can control their emotions. But being detached and cool can often be a front for insecurity and fear, rather. Now, usually the feminine asks the masculine to go deeper into his feelings and join her in the place where the two meet as one in relationship, and this is possible. Now, he is the prince of the chariot of the waters. What it's saying here, though, for me also is that now, as a prince, he's this knight, rather, he is air, and he's in cups, water. Well, when you have air and water together, you can either have something that's quite still and calm on the surface, but you could also have things whipping up, great seas that are coming through there. And so what we have here, the elemental combination of that Libra and Scorpio, I think, can make him a quite intense character. As a fast river flows, so does he, trying to get the most out of life as is possible. Now, this is speaking of desires, wishes, craving. There is here also a person, I think, who is completely without conscience in the ordinary sense of the word. You might well know this person. I'm really getting that a person who is perfectly ruthless, really, and somebody who cares intensely for power, for information, and for his own aims, and he feels no responsibility for others and can't be relied upon. If you're in any doubt as to where you sit behind him. Now, for you, your wishes and desires, though, must be perceived and recognized. They are the fundamental driving force in your life. It is only possible to use and master them if you are wide awake and alert. And instead of suppressing them, you can use them in the process of becoming more aware. When seen in this way, they are a vehicle that helps you journey into the world within. So if I can take something from this other person that's there, this energy that I'm getting around about this other person that you know, you may yourself actually have a calmness that does mask a passion and an intensity which could make you volatile. This person, however, I don't think it's you, this is a person who has much to offer, an immense ability, but really they can't be relied upon because their main responsibility is to themselves. They can be secretive, hiding their deepest desires. This could well be someone who's involved in things to do with artistry and music, and there's the bells of those monks next door that I live to calling to prayer. Now, this is a person, though, who does have a great insight into other people's lives, as usually they've done it all themselves, you know, and so they have the experience to offer people as to what is about. Now, at worst, this person, however, can be cruel, selfish, and reckless. But turning to you, I think that what this energy is saying, particularly in combination with these two major arcana that's here, is that you need to accept your sexual needs and passions and live them out with awareness. And you know, you will discover a lot in this process. Give yourself totally to the experience and observe yourself in it. And maybe ask yourself, what secret wishes are you unwilling to admit to? And spend some time each day visualizing yourself with your desires, but without getting lost in them. Say this to yourself: I now live out my sexual desires because this makes me a more vital person and fulfills me. Now I am drawn to this death card that's here. Now this is a major arcana, so I might talk something about the imagery that's on it. But let's have a look. Well, this really is a picture of death in a battlefield, I would suggest. Here is a rotting skull, looking backwards to the past. And there are other symbols of death there. This sword, there's a scythe that's there, a skull, and of course a fallen warrior. And these ravens which are around, one sticking on the top there, they're about to feast on the remains of the fallen. Well, this is the child of the great transformers, the lord of the gate of death. This is Mars ruling Scorpio. Mars, the planet of fiery energy, here in its lowest form, which is necessary to provoke the reason for change that's coming along here. Do you know, we have Mars in Scorpio. We spoke of Scorpio before, but Scorpio has three aspects to it. Did you know that? There is first of all Scorpio the scorpion, which has a hard shell, and from a water point of view that can be considered like ice. The next form of Scorpio is that of the snake, which is undulating, almost like a liquid. And finally, the exalted form of Scorpio is the eagle, which is in the air, which associates itself with steam, with gas, the airy aspect of water. Now I think what we have here is really themes of death and resurrection and transformation here. But you will be coming free of old ensnarements. There is an ending about here. There's a letting go of emotional attachments, and I think there's something of the end of an era or cycle that's coming about with you now. Old relationships are demanding to be disintegrated. Now this process may be bound together with painful experiences. However, your drawing this card indicates your readiness for this. The act of letting go, difficult as it may be, is going to liberate you. Now death shows two faces, one destroying and one tearing down. The other freeing you from old bonds which have become confining, preventing life. Now which of these aspects will predominate depends on your attitude during the month. And any desire to hold on to or cling to old bonds will cause their death to appear that much more agonizing. Now I think it's clear that something in your life is dying, dissolving, disintegrating, whether it be a structure you have created, a pattern, a habit, or a way of thinking about yourself or the world. And this is necessary for new beginnings and transformation in your life. This is a period of great transformation for you, I think. Good things are ahead of you, though, and it's a time of facing, perhaps, your darkest fears. But remember, the darkest hour is always just before the dawn, and in order to grow and abandon the old, death is your protection against stagnation. You are being forced to leave behind what you have outgrown. Do you know, you are now ready to make the necessary changes in your life. Accept any pain that may come with the loss of the old. To what outdated relationships or situations are you still clinging? Say this to yourself. I let go of people and situations with ease and dignity. I say yes to death and yes to myself, and every ending heralds the new beginning. Now, I did speak of Scorpio and Libra being important to you, but interestingly, with this Ace of Swords, which we're looking at now, I really do think that what there is around you is Aquarius, is Pisces, is Capricorn. And here we have the Lord of the root of the powers of air. This is speaking now to you of intellectual clarity, original thinking, brilliant powers of thought, quick fire thoughts and ideas, and almost a divine inspiration, it seems. Do you know, this is a time of great clarity for you, and your present clarity is a wonderful condition for your undertaking. You will be able to recognize facts and call by name things which other people would prefer to sweep under the carpet. This entails a great responsibility on your part. Be sure never to express your insights heartlessly, but when you are fully in contact with love, use your sword without sparing yourself or others. Now, in this period of great insight and clarity, I think you might even have a eureka moment about a problem that you've been working on, and you'll also see that the achievement of your goals becomes much easier. You now have a new perspective on life that was previously unclear, so you can cut straight to the heart of the matter. I think you've gained a new vision and will pursue opportunities which draw upon your creative and mental abilities. There is nothing you cannot be, there is nothing you cannot do, there is nothing you cannot have. You are the most magnificent, the most remarkable, the most splendid being God has ever created. For who could reject such wondrous magnificence? But you do not know who you are, and you think you are a great deal less. You are your own rule maker, and you are the only one who can assess how you are doing. All you see in the world is your idea about it. Life will take off for you when you choose for it to. An idea becomes a thought becomes a word. Say it out loud. Words have power, and they echo all throughout eternity, and a word becomes an action. And if you're going to do it, start. And having started, go all the way. Seize the opportunities in front of you now. Rejoice in them, and let no power on earth take them from you. So what supports and what hinders your clarity? The truth that you speak has neither past nor future. It is, and that is all it needs to be. And say to yourself, I trust my clear perceptions. That takes us, I think, let's have a look at this one. I like the idea of this card here. Major Arcana, the Wheel of Fortune, great card for you. Interesting here. Here is a snake below, a man with a lion's head on the top. And these cherubs around, there's one with the face of a human, one with the face of a lion, one with the face of a bull, and one with the face of an eagle. Now, I spoke of the eagle before, didn't I? And that was in the context of Scorpio. Well, these depictions actually come from the book of Ezekiel in the Hebrew Bible or the Christian Old Testament in chapter 1, verse 10, where he had a religious experience and saw a being come out of a whirlwind in the desert. It was one being with one head, and on the back of the head, at the front of the head was the face of a human, on the back of the head was the face of the eagle, on the right-hand side was that of the lion, and on the left-hand side was that of the bull. Well, that is, the face of the human is the fixed sign of air, being Aquarius, that of the lion being the fixed sign of fire, being Leo, the bull being the fixed sign of earth, being Taurus, and the eagle being the fixed sign of water, being Scorpio. Nevertheless, I call this the Lord of the forces of life, and it has the great benefic of the zodiac, Jupiter, infusing its way all around here. So this is speaking of abundance, prosperity, and fortune for you. This is speaking of new beginnings, an expansion, creativity, a big breakthrough, self-realization, but you've already seen that self-realization, I think, with this Ace of Swords here, that's come through again, and unexpected fortune, because there's good luck associated with this energy, thanks in most part to the presence of Jupiter, and there's a chance opportunity coming your way. There's opportunities opening up for you. You could be winning something. Now, of course, there will be some ups and downs, but there's also the possibility, I think, of a life-changing meeting with someone. In any event, this is a definite yes. It's a change of fortune, which is good, and in some respects, there's a great degree of karma and fate associated here. So it is speaking of an unexpected change in your life, which is going to be favorable, but maybe it may not necessarily seem that way at first. So be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities. Now, when times are good, stay centered, because things change. That's the only thing, apart from death, that we can guarantee in this life. And if things are challenging, do not be discouraged, because this is saying that things are now taking a turn for the better. In fact, if miracles aren't happening now, then something is definitely wrong. Change, however, is about to rear its head again, and you may need to alter your present course or change things around to set the stage for the right outcomes to come into your life. And remember, if you struggle against the course of life, then you become like someone struggling against the wheel and crushed beneath it. But if you stay in the center of the wheel, then despite the ebbs and flows of life, you will never be shaken or broken. So if you also stay centered to your truth, you are going to get through any hardship. You stand before the possibility of a great breakthrough now, so use this moment. Are you really ready for the great fortune? What's standing in the way? And say to yourself, I am a prosperous individual. I am flexible in times of change. I enjoy manifesting internal abundance externally. Abundance, which created me, is what I am. And I am now ready for the miracle of my life. And I think that takes us finally to the Lord of earthly power. Now, this is the sun in the third decan of Capricorn, at 13th to the 21st of January. Now, Capricorn is a feet on the ground, eye on the prize sort of a sign, isn't it? And those with the sun in Capricorn have a realistic, grounded approach to life, no matter how challenging the rest of their birth chart may be. So I see manifest things happening here, and a great character with you. Also strong this is a very materialistic card, I get the feeling. Strong foundations here, stability. Now you might have a tight rein on the budget and be financially cautious and saving for the future, almost protecting yourself in a way. But the sun in Capricorn, well, the sun energizes the Capricorn earth, and material benefits and or power are the result. Now, the sun in astrology is the symbol of your dynamism or power, and Capricorn is the application of that power in a useful way. Now, I think that life is going to seem quite orderly and secure, but there might be a moment when you sort of have a bit of discontentment, feeling that, look, although things are going well, just look at this guy's face here. It's like, look, everything is going well, but he's kind of thinking, would I rather be at the French Riviera? And, well, maybe it didn't exist in those days. But do you understand what I mean? There's sort of a feeling of, oh, look, things are going along fine, but I'm just feeling a little bit barren and discontented. There's also, I think, a feeling here where you have around your home a sense of a sanctuary where you can find your inner voice. You might also be obtaining material things that you want, either to use them for yourself, although it is quite possible that you might be wanting to obtain material things in order to show off to other people. And I think perhaps you might be being tested not to give your personal power away, and you need to discriminate about where and to whom to say no. Sometimes you might just need to draw the drawbridge up on that inner sanctuary of yours so that you don't give too much of your security away. Now, I think that material and financial security is going to be important for you, but there are solid foundations here for that. You're willing to work for what you want, and you'll have confidence in applying yourself to the world, and you'll be seen as a dependable person who acts with integrity. I really do get the sense here of a fulfillment of your personal goals and dreams. Is your life, your behavior, like a rigid fort? Or does your life, your behavior need more order, structure, and solidity? I'd ask you to study the different aspects of power. There's an old book, you'll probably find it for free on the internet, called The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Perfect, the seminal work on power. And say this to yourself though, I offer my power in the service of love. Well, what a fascinating spread of cards for you, and what a great month. Good job, you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. It really was an interesting reading, and great things are in store for you this month. I found the artwork, did you not, to be quite interesting. It's not the type of thing that you see every day, is it? But anyway, there'll be a different deck for next month. But in the meantime, I want you to remember one thing, and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.